This is Eat Drink Singapore on CNA938. I'm Chu Wee Lin with Susan Ng. When countries close borders and food supply chains are disrupted, how prepared is Singapore to deal with this? Well, we were certainly put to the test early last year, as you recall, when Singapore raised the disease alert level to orange and Malaysia announced a nationwide lockdown. I'm sure you'll also remember that panic buying ensued, driven by concerns about whether food supplies between Singapore and Malaysia would continue, though these fears proved to be unfounded.
Well, nevertheless, this incident has underscored the importance of strengthening Singapore's food security. Our guest today is helping to achieve that goal. He is Vincent Wei, co-founder of the local agri-tech startup Archisen that designs, builds, and operates solutions to grow fresh produce in cities. Vincent, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, hi, good morning. Thanks, Susan and Wei Lin.
Vincent, you founded your company in 2015, and this is long before COVID-19 exposed the vulnerabilities in our food supply chains. What sparked your interest in agri-tech back then?
Yeah, so back in 2015, we just closed our previous Internet of Things startup. And my co-founder, Savan, and I were wondering what to do next. We studied the markets and realized that food production was an industry that had a long-term viability. And with the rise of IoT and artificial intelligence, there was a lot that could be achieved in this industry, and hence the birth of Archisen, which actually stands for an architecture of sensor networks, which would be a starting point for highly productive farms. And after that, we spoke to some local farmers with regards to using technology, and their response was quite lukewarm because they were troubled with low margins and their land leases were ending. And they didn't want to dump more money into IoT where the benefits were uncertain. So we were determined that we could build a highly productive farming system producing food for Singaporeans. So through our market study, we found that freshness, nutrition, and flavor was what most people looked for in their food. And hence we incorporated that as our vision for the company and launched the Just Produce brand of vegetables.
All right, but you're a mechanical engineer by training. So what convinced you that you could succeed in agri-tech?
Yep. So that's very interesting because the entire agri-tech sector has progressed over the past 10 to 20 years. It is a combination of not only just manual farming right now, but also engineering, automation, crop science, as well as market penetration. So as an engineer, I get to look at the different engineering systems within the farm, the different components that goes towards powering the irrigation systems, the lighting systems, and the various processes that would increase the productivity of the entire farming process to make sure that we can produce affordable vegetables.
Fast forward, Vincent, from 2015 till today, you now have a 7,000 square foot indoor farm in a building out at Bureau Lane. Talk to us about this farm and the site.
Yeah, thanks for that question. So fundamentally for farming, we in Singapore or in cities, we want to explore the use of underutilized spaces. And in spaces in Singapore over here, there are still many available spaces for rent, especially in industrial buildings. And in many cities around the world, they have many buildings as well. And we want to see how we can actually fit farms into those buildings and to be able to supply to the cities which consume the vegetables in that area. By being located in a building, the farm is more modular and can be easily replicated as we expand to other cities in other countries within the region. At the same time, by locating a farm within a building or within a confined space, you're able to then control the environment to optimize the growing conditions. With that, you are able to produce vegetables that are more tasty and nutritious. And also, there is more consistent production for the vegetables. At the same time, by being within a building or an enclosed area, you keep out the pests. So you don't need to use pesticides, which are carcinogenic. with such dense farming systems, you are also able to expand easily within the building. So you take up one unit and you could take up more units when you intend to expand the farm. Yeah.
Was it always your intention to be an indoor farm, or did it just turn out that way?
Yeah, so I think in urban farming, or rather farming within a city, there are various spaces available. There's rooftop farms, there are indoor farms, there are even farms in open spaces or even underground. So I would say that there are various spaces that can be utilized for farming and not restricted to indoor. Now, the reason we chose indoor is because of the benefits that I mentioned earlier. And also the ability to be able to control the climate and to keep out the pests. So I think it naturally progressed along to the decision for indoor farming because of the ability to produce these vegetables consistently and effectively.
Now tell us what you produce. Vincent, what crops do you specialize in?
Okay, so under the Just Produce brand, we have a range of 7 different crops, which are mainly leafy vegetables, each with a different flavor and texture profile. We have a tangy sorrel, which has a nice lemony flavor. We have a salty and succulent ice plant, and even a very spicy mustard, which tastes like wasabi. At the same time, we also have other versatile lettuces such as romaine and coral lettuces.
Quite exotic, actually, aren't they? Yeah. Some of these.
Any reason why you chose these? Is it because they grow well indoors?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is our belief that you should be able to eat the salad even without sauces. And we feel that the salad needs to have a taste or have a strong taste such that it can actually pique your senses. It shouldn't be just a bowl of salad and it's all lettuces and you need to add in all your different sauces just to make it tasty. Even the various products that I mentioned, sorrel, ice plant, and mustard, they don't actually survive well over long distances. And so with urban farming or farming where you can bring the flavor or the produce closer to the end consumer, you're able to then provide them with the freshness and the flavor, without which, if it's over a long distance, they might actually lose them in that process.
Okay, so really it's a specialty in salad leaves. Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. All right. But it must not be easy though to grow these. I mean, they're not natural nor native to this part of the world for some of these vegetables that you're growing. Any specific special kind of technology that you're using to optimize yield?
Yeah. So I, of course, have to give a big shout out to all the farm hands and the farm engineers and the crop scientists who really put in all the effort to make this work. It's a combination of various systems. First, we have to select the right crop variety or the seeds and get them in that gives the right flavor and texture. We don't do any GMOs, so we really have to screen through a large number of varieties, probably about 100 different types of varieties just to get it right. We then have have the crop scientists create different growing environments to make sure that we can optimize the flavor and the yield. And the engineers have to really come in to make sure that all the systems work in place to ensure food safety, highly productive system, and the vegetable turns out well. And the farm hands, of course, have to be familiar with the entire and educated on the importance of the various farming processes as well. So it is a complex and difficult process, but this is something which is very fruitful for us.
This is Eat Drink Singapore, and we're speaking with Vincent Wei, who is co-founder of the local agri-tech startup Archisen. It designs, builds, and operates solutions to grow fresh produce in cities. Well, Vincent, you know, it's not the first time we've interviewed someone who has this sort of business, agri-tech, and engaging in vertical farming. There's so many players in this field now. How do you set yourself apart from your competitors?
Okay. Yeah, I think it's good to know that there are many players over in Singapore or there are new farms coming up, and I always encourage and always very happy to know that there are more produce being grown locally. If you would ask me who's my main competitor, I think the main competitor would be the imported produce. from Malaysia, Australia, or some Western countries. So my main competitive edge towards overseas produce would be that we do not use any pesticides, preservatives, or genetic modification. And we focus a lot on the freshness as well as the tastiness of our produce, and ensuring that they can get it to the customer at affordable prices. Just to give a bit more light in terms of what types of technology that we do over here as an ongoing process, we do a lot of crop science research and trials to develop new crop recipes for existing and new varieties of crops. Of course, we have sensors within the farm to monitor the data and to further analyze and improve the various farming processes. Certain processes like nutrient delivery, irrigation, climate control are automated based on predefined crop recipes. And of course, we also develop light recipes to grow the crops better. We also collaborate with various local institutions such as A-STAR, SIT, RP, NUS for the development of various specific technologies relating to urban farming. So all this gives us an edge on how we can further improve the overall sector over here. And once again, I would say our main competitors would be the overseas produce.
With such farming methods and the technology you've just described, how sustainable is this? I mean, can the food industry as a whole benefit from this?
Yeah, thanks for that question. I think, on just a general opinion, we do supply high quality produce. And when we supply this to the restaurants, cafes, or the buyers at affordable prices, they can then provide them to the consumers to be able to create a support local program. In the pipeline, we are also looking to make our technologies and insights available to other farms and other players within the industry to help them optimize yields and improve production efficiency. But this would be something that would be further down the line.
Do you think you might consider making this technology available to maybe retail clients who might want to grow their own produce at home? Is that even feasible? Because you also talked about needing sensors to monitor data and complicated things like that.
Yeah, thanks. I think this is an interesting question. We have this newly launched Just Harvest system, which is sort of a smaller type of farming system that can fit into restaurants, cafes, and even small grocers. And this is something that's coming up. We'll be happy to share more further when we have more information down the line. But this new farming system allows the grocers or the restaurants to actually harvest the vegetables fresh and provide them to the customer on the spot. So it's almost like bringing the farm to the store itself.
So farm to table, how can listeners purchase your products, Vincent?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so we are Just Produce, JUST Produce, and we are available at different online retailers such as RedMart, FairPrice Online, and Amazon Fresh. You can also buy in physical grocery stores such as Little Farms. You can check out our website, justproduce.sg, to find out where our products are available.
All right. Well, Singapore has a 30 by 30 initiative, which is a target to produce 30% of our nutritional needs domestically by 2030. From your experience, do you think this is achievable?
Yes, I do. I think the government's 30 by 30 vision is bold, but it's achievable with the right policies and strategy. Farms need to focus on the required economies of scale and to have the technological complexity of producing a diverse portfolio of agricultural products and look into highly productive methods of farming. What I observe is that consumers, even the younger ones, are becoming more educated on the need to grow your own food, eat local, and to eat healthy. And I also see a trend where local farms are working together and helping each other to increase the consumption of local produce by Singaporeans. I also see that retailers such as RedMart and Little Farms coming forward to create programs to give local farmers a hand in listing and promoting their local produce. So I look forward to seeing other online and offline retailers proactively working with local farms to make local produce more accessible to Singaporeans.
Before we let you go, Vincent, I really have to ask this. You know, you've got all the exotic salad leaves that you produce right at your farm. Any chance that in the future you would also cater to more local tastes and head to the kailans and the xiao bai chais and things like that?
Yes, good that you asked that. That's something that is very close to our heart, and this is something that is currently something that is in the works that we are researching on. It's definitely Asian greens is definitely something in a pipeline, but we want to actually do a bit more research on this and to make sure that it's tasty and affordable for Singaporeans. So it's definitely in the works.
And we wish you the best, Vincent. We look forward to visiting your website in the future and seeing more on offer to those people who love their greens. Thank you for making time to join us today.
Thank you very much, Susan and Wei Lin.
Thank you. Vincent Wei, co-founder of the local agri-tech startup Archisen, and they design, build and operate solutions to grow fresh produce in cities. If you want to try their produce, you just visit justproduce.sg.